right-hand side, a very interesting... It was damaged in March 1945. It was destroyed by bombs, and it took over 10 years to build an exact replica of the historical opera house.
Some of the coaches in Vienna, you often see these going along the streets. They just use them as a bit of a gimmick, I think, for tourists. This is in the Imperial Palace, and that's the old one. It's about 300 years old. The new one is behind me, but it's looking straight into the sun.
In front of the Parliament building, you see a white marble statue of the goddess of wisdom, Pallas Athena, with a golden helmet and the spear. Also about 100 years old. Tech University. And then look still to the left, please. You see the votive church. It's not the cathedral. It's not as big and not as old as the cathedral, but it's still quite a nice 19th century neo-Gothic church.
The cathedral in Vienna. There's some more horses lined up.
Yes, I just wanted to give them an idea of the traffic jams, but...
There's no traffic lights, no...
No, it's eased off, no traffic lights, and they just push their way.
Under a certain pressure, maybe, because the weekend tomorrow starts and they don't know what to do, where to go. Just to shorten the time. The Styrian Alps.
We have left Vienna and we're heading towards Venice, and these are some of the Austrian mountains. I don't know whether I can get a view down the valley there. Very rugged looking. It's a very steep climb in the bus going up here. It's a beautiful road, but it's very twisty. How about a wave, Pierre? Wave! No, it's you we want.
Oh,
It's you we want. Good. In Austria, lovely ironwork that was some 100 years old or more. The Austrian houses are of a very high standard. They've all got their little gardens, all got their lawns. They look a very prosperous country, and they're a very happy race. There's the lake. It looks beautiful. It must look lovely in the winter time when it's got the snow on the mountain. We've got about 15 miles to go before we have to go into Italy and then on to Venice. Just crossed into Italy, and here's some mountains in northern Italy. Beautiful, really. It would be rather obvious where we are now, of course. This is Venice. Going up the main canal in a ferry. I don't know what that is, but it's incredible. There's another building. We haven't heard what it is yet, but it's right on the canal. It's like a church of some sort. Hear the bells. Very interesting clock, of course.
That's the one with the men on the end.
It's got a magnificent dial on it. Bring that up closer. The Church of St. Mark's in Temple of St. Marco in Venice, there, of course, among the other buildings. There's a fair number of other tourists there. I'll just have a look at the square. There we are. All tourists. There's a few gondolas. Here's some of their partners here. Around. The one of the tower. This isn't the original one. The old one fell down about 1900 and was rebuilt in the very early 1900s. So that's only a modern tower. Just another view on the side of the Grand Canal. Another canal up that way. Beautiful boats. I haven't been able to get a lot. Yesterday afternoon we went for a drive in a taxi and we went right out to the other islands, but it was all organised on the spur of the moment and I didn't have the camera. But unfortunately, because if I had had it, I would have been able to get some lovely shots out there. Last night we had a ride in the gondola and I didn't have the camera again, but there wasn't much there to see except all the lights. There's our luggage boat. It's ready to collect our luggage to take it. Everything here has to move through or on the water. Here's one of the little stalls. There's hundreds of these all around the place with all sorts of gimmicks.
And the people do own their own houses in Yugoslavia, or they can.
Very rugged looking stuff. This is still heading south after Medvedci in Yugoslavia. The hydroelectric work here. There must be a dam above it somewhere. There's the road going around there again. And there's Jim sitting on the floor because she can't stand the heights looking out the side of the bus. During this trip she spends her time sitting on the floor like that because she hates the heights. There's some of the others watching. Just learnt that that station there that I mentioned early on is at Obrovac, so that's where we are. This is heading down along the coast of the Adriatic. That's the, there it is. Now there's the ocean out there, and there's the thing, and there's our road roughly along there where we are now. These lovely white mountains on either side, and they virtually go straight down. I'll get a good view here, I think. There's another view over the canal. See, there's the canal. Now we're in the old city of Dubrovnik. And this is the old original one. That's the well. There's little outlets all around that where they used to collect the water. And this is the entrance. This is part of the wall. The old wall is still here. Of the narrow little alleys, these run off about every block. There's very steep steps at the end there. I don't know whether you can see them. This is still in the old city of Dubrovnik. One of the very attractive old buildings of Dubrovnik. The place, of course, as usual, is full of tourists. Look at them all. Full of tourists. They even got a car in somehow. Another one of the buildings. This is a church.
We got the wrong way, but we're not going to space. We've got the wrong way.
You want to look around here, Ron? Here's another view. Here they are, all sitting on the fence. There's Alec acting as tour guide. Ian sitting down. Yeah. Another view across the lake. There's a few of the boats.
You'll be sorry you brought them this way.
Here they come up the steps. Here they come. I won't have enough tape to take them the whole way, but I can take them for a while. Right, now we're right up on the hill. We've just come up on the cable car. There's the old city down there with the wall around it. You can see the wall right around it. There's another view from the restaurant where we had lunch.
We can see those neon lights.
A very late lunch. This is the marina down there where they have a lot of boats, of course. They usually do at marinas. Here they are having lunch. Everybody want to look round this way? Still licking your fingers. Wait till I zoom in on you. Now turn round, Gail, because I've got you full face now. That's good. Who's next? Alec having a beer. Good. Yeah, Jean doesn't like the Coke. Now, Jean, what are you doing, Jean?
Jane, what are you doing? Hello, Nick.
Yeah, hello.
So nice to have seen you today.
Now we've got Maureen over there. Yes, the view. We're just getting up around about the snow line now. See the clouds and the snow. There's that road going through there. We have had lunch here, and that's the name of the place. I don't know how it's pronounced. And now we hope to get a photograph of the group as well. Here we are after lunch. This is our group. That's Joy going across there now. There's Joy. I find it a lot easier to recognise Joy from the back. And there's Mac. Who's missing? Who's missing? Who's missing? Actually, that was our group, but there were two missing, and here they are walking across there now. You wouldn't know where they'd been. And there's Mac trying to organise the group. Go. I want to get this running. Beautiful. There's Gail putting on an act. This is where we had lunch. It's a bit like the Opera House. Now we're in Skopje. This is just to use up just a few minutes of the film that I have left in the camera. Here's a view out of the bus of the farms. They have no divisions, no fences, and they have a little bit of orchard, and then they have crops, and they have some other ground under fallow. We just had to pass through Varia, and now we're on our way to have a look at the monasteries in the hills at Kalambaka. It's just a view. We're starting to go up the mountains now. It looks fairly steep ahead. Kalambaka, with the old monasteries up there. There's one. I'll just zoom on up on him. There he is. I believe there were 24 of these originally, and there's only 6 of them now that are being used. One of them is an orphanage, and they've got about 30 children up there and about 20 nuns looking after them. I don't know which is the one that is in use, but those cliffs. Here we have an aerial view from our hotel at Larissa. That's the park opposite. There's not much else to see from up here except TV aerial view. We've just headed up from Lamia, and that was nearly at the sea level, and we're heading up the mountains. This was a rise in only about 5 miles, I suppose. And we're already up about 5,000 feet in about 5 miles.
strong here. Dick and I had one last night.
Yeah? No, no, I missed. No Malay alone.
Beer only. Yeah. No whiskey. Way back to beer. Way back in whiskey.
Black.
Lovely day.
Oh,
It's a shame it wasn't clearer for the boats.
Sit here and sunbathe.
I'll start up here. Now this is the little village of, what is it, Delphi. It's situated very high on the mountains, as you can see now by this shot. There's the hotel at Delphi, and you look straight down there and there's the valley below, and I'll just go along here and show you how far down that is. There it is. Now this is looking over the cliff. And here comes the party. We're going up to see the old temple. There he is, all smiles. All smiles. Still coming, but they've been straggling out a bit now as we climb.
We have to get away.
Who's that? Just another view of the old temple of Apollo. These are some of the ruins that are around the place. Here's another view from a little bit higher up at the old temple. There is the old temple down there now with a few of the old pillars left. Right, this is out of Athens on a cruise of the Greek islands. It's an all-day one. We're just heading into the first island. They're just grey and the whole hill looks grey. Wait till I zoom in on a few and we can have a look. And if it's anything like the other buildings in Athens, there's about half of them are unfinished. There it is, I'll just zoom away from it. Have a look. Hydra Island, and there's a donkey. There's some more. There's James walking away there. There's Marion. There's some donkeys, they're charging for rides. And if we walk our way around here on the...
The old university. Now is a monument. And the third one is a library. So academy, old university and library. This you know from Sydney. Everybody comes here. Here they revived the Olympic Games in 1896.
Going up towards the buildings on the Acropolis in Athens. Here is a view. Here we are, right up on top of the hill. And here's the building. 2,500 years old. There's some other tourists here, as you can see. Look around, there's another temple there that's being restored, or it's not so much restored, it's being preserved, what they have now. And there's an aerial view of Athens, just a quick run round from up on the... Now we're on our way over to Italy. We have been on the boat all night, and we've made one earlier stop. And this is another one, this is at the island of Corfu, so we're still in Greece. Goes right down there. That's the end of it, and of course out there is where we're going, and that's straight out to sea towards Italy. Now we're just arriving in Italy. This is the port of Brindisi. There's one that looks a bit low in the water. I don't know what's wrong with it. Also, he's on back out the bus. All the happy, smiling faces. See them? You know, when I aim at them, they smile. Beautiful. This has been one of the most pleasant days we've had, and there's the reason there. Asleep. There's our group there, just waiting for the guide to come along to take us into Pompeii ruins. up amongst the ruins of the old city. Just another view around, and that there in the distance, of course, is the one that did all the damage. That's Mount Vesuvius. If I could get one from the other side, it shows it much clearer how the whole top's gone. From here it doesn't look quite as clear, but there it is. These are some of the archways dedicated to the old Roman emperors. Not very much here, I don't think, Alec, but I'll just swing it round and have a look. It's all interesting, then we can edit it out later, you see. This was obviously an old courtyard of some sort. Way to Rome. This is right up on the hill at Casino, and it's a monastery that was completely destroyed during the war and has now been rebuilt by the monks. There's another view inside some of the courtyard area. Now this was completely destroyed during the war and has been all rebuilt. Here's yet another view from inside it over the gardens. We're running very late at the moment, so we've only have about a quarter of an hour here. Here is a view along one of the outside walls. It might give you an idea of the size of it, but here's some of the ornamental gates coming in, the rich ironwork that's worth looking at. I'll just zoom them in a little bit closer. Here it is. New town that was completely destroyed during the war and rebuilt afterwards. There it is. There was hardly a building left. Why would they want this up here at this height? There she is. And I'll move across there to her friend with the bell round her neck. Look. Now she's only got a slip, and that's where she ends up. Look at that. She's right on the edge, and you go right down to that thing, right down there. There's a view of the trams in Rome just in front of the bus. This is our street. We're just heading off to Tivoli. This is in the village, and there's all these little shops. Now there's our crowd coming down there now. There's Robin speaking to someone, arguing in Italian. Here is a view off the Villa Parapet. All the gardens, and there's heaps of waterfalls down there. Now this is at the fountain of youth, and there's some of our party there heading through. If you walk under that, those will take about 10 years off the life. There's Alex. Here's another one, but I'm not able to get far enough away to show you, so I'll just have to show you in pieces. There it is. Another one that's supposed to be the largest one in Europe. Here's just another view of the big fountain. It's about 350 years old, roughly, and it is nearly all original. Now we're in Rome, and of course this is at the Vatican. I'll just skid round until you can have a good look at it, and I'll zoom in on some. I got here early today, just before the crowd, because we were here yesterday afternoon, but I didn't have the camera. So I got up early today, and here I am. There is St. Peter's. We go around statues up the top. This is one complete circle. Right round. This is looking down the street coming in. There's the clock. There's another one up that end. I'll just zoom in on some of these. There's the dome. And there's a fountain that is in the Vatican courtyard. It's one of those little areas there that the Pope comes out. He'll be out today about midday, but I'm not going to wait. This is the River Tiber, and there's one of the many bridges that span it. They're very ornamental. I'll just zoom round here and have a look at another one a little bit closer. There's one. They're all adorned with these statues. They're all over Rome. There's one. Another one of the old ancient ruins. These are all over Rome. This is only one of many. It'll give you an idea what they are. Those are the old Roman ones, about 2,500 years old. Now here is the War Memorial. It's a magnificent building. It's also known as the Wedding Cake. There's those statue things all around. They're carved all the way around. Little veranda here, there, was where Mussolini spoke to the crowd. He used to come out onto there and speak to the crowds in the square. Where the famous Fountain de Trevi. This is where they all throw in coins and they make a wish and they come through. In the morning I got here early and there's not a great deal of crowd here at the moment. We are again at one of the other old ruins. These were the old houses or whatever it was. I don't know what they were years ago. There's some of the pillars. I don't know whether I can get a close-up of these small bricks that they used to use. I don't know how this will come out. They're tiny little bricks. There they are, Stephen. Now there's a lot of their work used those. We also saw a lot of those up at Pompeii. Tiny little square bricks. There is a little small spot on the map. Now that was Rome when it first started. Then as it went on, it got to that stage, all the white was the Roman Empire. And there's the next one. It's a lot bigger area. Until in the end they owned all the civilized world. It was all under Roman control, even England up the top there. Right, there we have it, everyone knows it. It's amazing how large it is. I didn't expect it to be anywhere near that size. This is another view from the inside. I'll just zoom around a little bit. Those are where all the seats were years ago. And it used to seat about 50,000 people altogether. And they used to be here all day. So they must have had all sorts of other facilities. Now this had a wooden floor over all that. So that was the stage where the old gladiators used to fight and all that sort of thing. And underneath that were all their cages for the animals that they used to fight and other rooms. It is enormous in here. We've left Rome and we're heading towards, oh, I've forgotten where it is now because I got lost. But this is at Siena. And this is their cathedral at Siena, and it's mostly done in a black and white. It's rather different. This is in Florence, and there's the church. It's all built out of marble in all different colours. I'm not able to get away from it. It's too crowded, so I'll just have to zoom about like this to give you an idea of what it's like. It's a magnificent building, and it's all done in marbles of all different shades. Greens, browns, blues. I don't know where they got the blue marble, but they did. Yeah, before before you could go.
Look at the arches, you see, on the very left.
Now we can have a guess where we are. In a moment you'll know. I'll just slowly zoom round and you'll recognise it very soon. There's one of the buildings. Quite an artistic sort of a building. I don't know what they all are yet because they haven't been explained to us. Then we go round, there's the cathedral. Lovely white sort of marble. I'm moving round as I go. There's the cathedral. This is over a lovely lawn, as you can see. Now you ought to recognise where we are. There it is. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it is leaning too. There it is. And there's Gin's walking back from over there. And there's Alec and Jean. Cannes on the French Riviera. There's one of the beaches, but there's no topless girls here today. And right round there, that's the sea, of course. It's the Mediterranean. Party now. We're just going on a little bit of a walking tour for about half an hour to have a look around. It's actually got sand here. We haven't seen any anywhere, but there is sand here. It's pretty coarse, but at least it's sand.